Welcome to Exam Sale. This video walks you through the exact syllabus for the Juniper Enterprise Routing and Switching Professional Exam, JNCIP-ENT. You will get a clear study roadmap and exam focus areas. The JNCIP-ENT exam is divided into 8 domains with exact weights you must follow for study planning. BGP 20%, OSPF 15%, ISIS 15%, IP multicast 15%, Ethernet switching and spanning tree 15%, class of service 10%, Layer 2 authentication and access control 7%, and IP telephony features 5%. Expect mostly conceptual and scenario-based assessments with some hands-on tasks in class of service. BGP represents 20% of the exam and is rated hard, with an estimated 30 hours of study and conceptual plus scenario-based assessment. You will learn BGP fundamentals, peer configuration, and the full path selection process including attribute priorities and decision steps. The syllabus covers BGP scalability topics like route reflectors and confederations and the use of communities and local preference for traffic engineering. Practice configuring peers, implementing routing policies to influence path selection, and troubleshooting real BGP peering and routing scenarios. OSPF is 15% of the exam, hard in difficulty, and requires about 25 hours of study with conceptual and scenario questions. You will study OSPF 2 and OSPF 3 operation, identify LSA types 1 through 7, and understand the purpose of different area types. The syllabus includes configuring stub, totally stubby, and NSSA areas and implementing multi-area topologies with summarization. Also focus on adjacency formation, MD5 and ISEC authentication, DR election, and integrating policy and metrics for external routes. ISIS makes up 15% of the exam and is hard, with an estimated 20 hours of focused study and scenario-based assessment. You will learn ISIS protocol concepts and terminology, PDU types, TLV functions, and the Level 1 and Level 2 multi-level architecture. The syllabus covers adjacency formation, link state database analysis, and configuring NET addresses and interfaces. Study multi-level designs, route leaking and summarization, wide metrics, and ISIS authentication for secure large-scale deployments. IP multicast accounts for 15% and is hard, with around 25 hours of study and conceptual plus scenario-based assessment. You will learn multicast addressing, distribution trees, and the operation of IGMP2 and IGMP3 alongside IGMP snooping for Layer 2. The syllabus covers PIM sparse mode operations, PIM dense mode and SSM concepts, and troubleshooting RPF check failures and forwarding issues. It also includes rendezvous point configuration, auto RP, BSR, Anycast RP and MSDP for interdomain multicast scenarios. Ethernet switching and spanning tree is 15%, medium difficulty, and requires about 18 hours of study with scenario-based questions. You will master RSTP and MSTP operation, VSTP behavior, and configure MSTP regions, instances, and priorities. The syllabus covers spanning tree port roles and states, BPDU guard, loop guard and root guard to prevent loops. In addition, study virtual chassis, MACLAG, VLAN-based traffic isolation, QinQ tunneling and Layer 2 protocol tunneling. Class of service represents 10% of the exam and is hard, with an estimated 15 hours of hands-on plus conceptual study. You will learn cost processing stages on Junos, configure behavior aggregate and multi-field classifiers, and implement forwarding classes with queue mapping. The syllabus requires you to define schedulers, scheduler maps, and rewrite rules for DHCP and MPLS markings, and to configure congestion management mechanisms like red and weighted tail drop. Also practice policing, shaping on egress interfaces, and monitoring COSQ statistics for troubleshooting. Layer 2 authentication and access control is 7%, medium difficulty, and needs about 12 hours of study with conceptual and scenario-based assessment. You will learn 802.1x authentication components and the full authentication flow and how to configure 802.1x with radius on access ports. The syllabus includes MAC radius authentication for non-802.1x devices, dynamic VLAN assignment via radius attributes, and fallback or guest VLAN configuration for unauthorized users. Expect scenarios that test policy integration and edge access security. IP telephony features account for 5% of the exam, are easy in difficulty, and require roughly 8 hours of study with conceptual and scenario tasks. You will focus on LLDP and LLDP-MED for IP phone discovery, configure voice VLANs, and understand PO standards and power management. The syllabus also covers PO priority, power budgeting, and practical LLDP-MED configuration for voice endpoint support. Hands-on practice will help you optimize switch behavior for VoIP deployments. Use this syllabus roadmap to allocate study time by exact weight and difficulty. Prioritize BGP, OSPF, ISAs and multicast, then address layer 2 switching, COS, access control, and telephony in that order. Study with real configurations, scenario practice, and targeted troubleshooting exercises to pass JNCIP-ENT.